It's 6:30. What's the department's view of the general human rights situation in West Papua?
The overall situation in West Papua?
The general, well, no, the human rights situation.
The situation in Papua and West Papua is something we monitor very closely. I think the human rights conditions there are improving.
Okay. Has there been any recent reporting from our embassy in Jakarta regarding human rights abuses in West Papua?
There have been reports from our post in Jakarta on the general conditions in West Papua based on visits to the provinces by our embassy staff, yes.
Great. During February estimates, it may have been March or February, whenever the session was last, Mr Cox, you informed me that you weren't aware of any recent reports of human rights violations, so please be welcome to confine your comments to the last 3 months if you like. Are you aware of reports that on the 1st of May of this year, Indonesian police arrested 200 people in Sentinai, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, at the National Committee for West Papua's headquarters?
That may have been in the context of a morning flag raising.
A Morning Star flag? Morning
Star flag, that is right.
I'm not aware if that's the case or not. You may well be correct. There were also reports that a journalist was detained and beaten. So you are aware of these reports?
I'm not aware of the latter report, but I'm aware of some reports around Morning Star flag raising, and those are the responses that do happen from police when that happens, yeah.
You raise a flag
that's considered to be an act of separatism.
You can raise a flag and be beaten and imprisoned?
Well, yeah, certainly arrests do happen when that happens, yes.
Arrests, beatings, imprisonment, torture and occasionally extrajudicial killing happen?
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
That's what happens. How often do DFAT officials engage West Papuan interlocutors regarding the political and human rights situation in West Papua?
I'm sorry, Senator.
That's all right. How often do DFAT officials engage West Papuan interlocutors regarding the political and human rights situation in West Papua?
Senator.
Regularly, days, weeks, months, hours? Just give us some bearing.
We regularly engage with a range of voices in West Papua and Papua province. Senator Brandis was there last year.
I understand he was.
And engaged with a wide range of interlocutors.
Well, let's get a sense then of what you mean by regularly. How many times has an embassy official travelled into West Papua since the 1st of January 2015?
Since January 2015.
Yep.
I'll get that figure for you on notice.
Appreciate it. And if you can, break out for us how many of those visits were related to Senator Brandis's visit in August 2016.
Yes, I'll get that on notice.
Appreciate it, thank you. On notice also, could you provide a list of West Papuan organisations with whom the embassy has met since the 1st of January 2015?
2016 or?
15.
15. Yes, we can get you that, Senator, on notice.
Appreciate it. Were human rights abuses in West Papua raised by Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull during his recent visit to West Papua? I think it was in early March.
I'm not aware, Senator.
Are you able to find out for us?
I'll have to check on that, Senator.
Shouldn't be too difficult, but I understand if you don't know, that's fine. But are you able to take that on notice to establish whether or not those issues were raised?
Well, it's something that is a province of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet.
Yeah, but I'm presuming they're informed by your officers. You're the ones with the expertise and the range and the office in the area.
Well, a meeting between the Prime Minister and President Widodo is a matter for the Prime Minister and the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet.
Right. Are you refusing to undertake to take that on notice, or are you... What exactly is happening?
I think it should be directed to the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet.
So you are refusing to find out whether that was raised? It's not a legitimate foreign policy question that I can put to you?
I think it'd be fair,
Go ahead.
Senator Ludlam, to say that the officer is declining to take it on notice because it's not a question properly directed either to him or to this portfolio.
Senator Brandis, either you or Mr Cox, whoever feels free to take this question, would you agree with the statement that Australia is concerned, at least to some degree, about human rights violations in West Papua, irrespective of whether the Prime Minister... Can you tell us the
provenance of the statement, please?
Sorry, say that again?
Can you tell us who made that statement?
I'm making it now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, look, all I can tell you is... No, I just wondered if it was a...
No, I'm not quoting a third party.
Yeah. Look, all I can tell you, Senator Ludlam, is, as you know, I visited the Papua provinces last year, through the auspices of our embassy in Jakarta, I did meet with a group of human rights spokespeople. I think I took this question on notice last year, and I provided you on notice with a list of their names and the organisations they represented. That meeting was not conducted in the presence of any officials from the Indonesian government or under any form of oversight. The only people there were the human rights representatives, me and my staff, and DFAT officers from the embassy in Jakarta.
We do have this on the record already, Senator.
Well, you asked me, you asked the question, so...
But you're answering a different question.
No, I'm not, Senator. If I may...
Could I ask it again?
No, Senator, let me finish my answer. So, on that occasion, I asked whether they had any recent complaints of human rights violations in the Papua provinces, and they said unequivocally, no, we have no complaints about recent human rights. We do make no allegations or complaints about recent human rights violations. I asked whether they were of the view that the human rights situation in those provinces was improving, and they unambiguously said that it was, in their view.
Thank you, Senator. Would you agree with the statement that Australia is concerned, at least to some degree, about human rights abuses in West Papua?
Well, on the basis of my interaction and my meeting relatively recently still with spokespeople, currently there are no allegations or complaints that have been made that I'm aware of. But more recently than that, there may have been.
Yeah, we've been discussing some of those.
About which I can't speak.
That's all right. No, we've discussed some of those. How about you, Mr. Cox?
Well, I mean, in the case of the human rights situation, as I said, it's improving. It's not perfect. In our dialogues conducted with a range of voices in Papua and Papua provinces and in Jakarta, we continue to raise issues such as access for journalists and free access for NGOs and others to the provinces to see the conditions on the ground. We continue to advocate for a development-led, political, non-police, non-security-led approach to development. And if there are cases that come to our attention, then they will be raised with the appropriate authorities.